Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fabio Palvelli and I'm a designer. Every week on this channel I share a little bit of my life on video, as well as tips and tricks on how to be a better designer, a better visualizer, a better human being. Can you be a better human being? I don't know. Let's find out. No, we don't need to find out. Sorry, I apologize. Bear with me a little bit. I'm still a little bit on Sydney time. Last week I was in Sydney because of the Unimagine conference. Oh my god, the work that the guys at Blank Canvas Studio, Justin and his wife V, did for the organization of this event was just amazing. Not to mention that Sydney, oh my god, what a beautiful city. Maybe you're not interested in all this, so I'm not gonna bother you with that. If you are interested, last week I posted a video about the whole Unimagine conference. Go and see it. Maybe I'll put a link somewhere. Let's get to today's video. A few weeks ago, I posted a video where I spoke about why some clients will not pay top dollars for their renderings. In the video, I also touched up a little bit on what I would personally charge as a real minimum price for images. Anyway, instead of me telling you the whole story, go and check out the video. I think it has a lot of valuable information in it. Anyway, the video sparked some controversy, if you like, about what the minimum prices for images should be. There is a whole conversation that people had on my Facebook page. Anyway, by making this video, I managed to raise some valid points of discussion. One in particular is, should there be a minimum price for ArchViz images? This is a very good question, of course, although it actually begs for another question, which is, can then these minimum prices be somehow enforced? Because, let's face it, what is the point of having regulatory prices if then artists don't respect this, right? Anyway, let me answer this question first. I don't think we can enforce a minimum price for renderings. There are too many variables and too many things to take in consideration when it comes to making images. Then the process of identifying, evaluating and pricing a job is way too complex to be standardized. We can of course abstract the idea of what an image is, so to calculate easier the unitary price that clients need for budgeting, as I've already explained in previous videos, but that needs optimizing also. Another thing is that minimum prices for services, from what I've gathered, seem to be an illegal practice. If we refer to the way the internet works, that we know that the internet is a free market and it's also a communication tool that it's so interwoven with society that we can actually say that it represents society itself. This means that for many industries, ArchViz included, competition is allowed and very often not at all regulated, meaning that anybody can offer whatever service they want and sell whatever product that they want at the price that they want. On top of that, countries with higher living costs have to deal with the competition coming from really poor countries, where companies can cut on costs simply because they don't respect the rules of the global market. They don't buy software, they underpay their employees, you know what I'm talking about. And that is not everything. We as an industry have to deal with the super fast changes coming from within the industry itself. New software, new technologies, new trends, changes that today, thanks to the internet, travel a lot faster than say 5 or 10 years ago, meaning that we need to adapt a lot faster. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages in operating a business in an open global market like the one that we have. Unfortunately, when it comes to ArchViz, the open market has brought a lot of disruption in the industry. Same goes to the music industry, TV, cinema, to the marketplace itself, if you realize the influence that one single company like Amazon has on so many businesses. But it is what we as a society have chosen to have, so adaptation is really the only solution. That or a revolution. There is a book on this topic called Move Fast, Break Things of Jonathan Taplin. I warmly recommend it. Now, would it be good to have a minimum price for renderings? Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure. I will try to explain why in a second. But anyway, for now, let me divert really quickly. No matter what you think about what the minimum price for rendering should be, it is clear that we need people not to undersell themselves and not offer too low prices. Selling images should be a professional service and not a game for wannabe artists. Instead, there are still some people out there that think that we should be encouraging new artists, the newcomers to the industry, to do this job at all costs, even if this means underselling yourself. And this is because somehow, if I say that I charge $2,000 for an image, the artist that only charges $200 will somehow be discouraged by this price gap? I'm very confused. Now, my response to this is that if this is your attitude towards business, if making more money is what scares you and not what motivates you to become a better artist, then probably being in this industry isn't really for you in the first place. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to motivate young people by telling them to try their hand at opening a company and charge less just because we need to give them the possibility to learn and improve their skills and get better at a job that they essentially cannot do, and at the expenses of those who have already figured out how the industry works and that are running legitimate design businesses. No, sorry. A professional image should have a consistent price. Like, it should be expensive. Making images is professional work. It's skills, it's sacrifice, it's an investment. Period. Some artists will be better than others, not only artistically speaking, but also as business people, and they will charge more. If you as an artist fail to get paid by your client a fee that allows you to keep your business running and at the same time being happy and profitable, then I'm sorry to say, but it is your fault. Not your client's fault, not my fault, not the competition fault. It is your fault, because it means that even if you're good at what you do, you are simply not ready to run your own studio. Personally, I never heard of a doctor that was offering half-price transplants just because, the guy was starting out and he had to learn. And yes, write in the comments that, being a doctor is different from being an artist. We as a society used to appreciate and respect professionalism a lot more. I'll give you an example. In the past, if you wanted to be a mechanic, you would probably work for somebody that could teach you the job. You'll be in a garage for years before even thinking about opening your own shop. You will work after school, on weekends, at night, during the holiday, and one day when you were really, really ready, when you had paid your dues, when you would have shown your worth to your boss and to your clients, maybe your boss will give you the keys to the garage so that you will be taking over. It would have been a lifetime achievement for you. There used to be passion and love involved in the profession. And ultimately, the driver for your own success would have been that same love and passion. No matter what it was, people accepted that there was a process to learning a job. Instead, today people simply improvise. They act reckless and without responsibilities. And yes, okay, times have changed and things move a lot faster, but why is there no longer a sacred relationship between the craft, the experience, and the respect for the profession? This is a question for you guys. And the worst thing about everything is that it is our own fault as a society that we have changed this way, collectively. You want to become an artist? Good, great, I'm very excited for you. And I'm in no way asking you to either quit or reconsider, but do it the proper way. Get a job. If you need to, then move to a country that allows you to do so. Learn from somebody with the experience. Pay your dues, know what it's like to really serve somebody with your work. Learn how to solve problems. Learn what it costs to manage a business. Learn what it's like to take responsibilities. Try and spend years doing this over and over. And then, but only then, try to do your thing. What if I told you that you have basically two possibilities? One, you could start from zero, like really with nothing, crack the software, work from your student laptop, do your own freelance gig, struggle to get new clients because let's face it, you have no idea what you're doing, lower your prices to make yourself competitive, and as a consequence, get stuck for maybe even 10 years working with terrible clients, offering very low prices, making terrible images because, that's what you wanted. Or possibility number 2, you could work 5, maybe 6, maybe even 10 years in a good office in which you can try to be the best artist possible. Learn the job from someone with more experience than you and hopefully more talented than you. Learn responsibilities, learn duties, learn patience, learn discipline, learn respect, then slowly build your client base. Buy your own tools, your own software, your own computer, save up some money so that you have a bit of room to breathe, and then, but only then, try to run your own company. Then, because you did everything correctly, you'll be able to charge 2K, 4K, 10K per image. What would you go between these two options? I can tell you one thing. Most of the guys who have made their own companies by struggling and learning the hard way might have done this job for 10 years and might still be stuck at 500, 600 euros per image, which for European standards, this means you're still basically playing in the low league of ArchViz. So, to go back to the first question, do we need minimum prices for images? I think it would be relevant. You see, on one end, we need companies and artists that charge super low prices since they often end up setting the negative standard. On the other end, even if there was a way to establish basic rates, the majority of artists will still find a way to negotiate against themselves and act against their own interests. And that is because most artists refuse to understand the logic of business and prioritize their own ego instead, since, all they care is about seeing their art being used. So what can we do about this? Simple. We, as in all ArchViz artists, need to talk to each other and we need to work together so that we can advocate for better conditions, we can try to raise awareness, we can try to teach each other what is the real value of what we can produce. And we need to do this without being afraid to discuss prices. Make people aware that the goal as a community should be to higher our standards and not lower them with the hope that somehow we're all going to be happy. That's nonsense and very bad advice. Also, just to clarify, this is a discussion that at this time and place we can unfortunately only do maybe in Europe, the US, Canada, Australia, maybe some other places that I'm completely forgetting. Look, it's not my fault if I don't have a solution for places where there is poverty or corruption is in power or where human rights are suppressed or dismissed. Places where art does not have the social role and appreciation that it has in the Western world. And if you watching these videos are from one of these places, please do understand that I'm not looking down on you. I respect you and I respect your position. And I'm sorry that you cannot share my reality. In that case, know that leaving your country should be the first step in your strategy. But if that's not an option, do not discard my message. You too can build awareness in your own market and community and make a difference. Anyway, all I can say for now is that we, those who have the actual chance and possibility, we also have the responsibility to lead the global design and visualization community by example. And if we do enough of a good job, then maybe we can only hope that the rest of the world will follow. My name is Fabio Palvelli. Thanks a lot for watching.